want you to do is to understand that there's a war going on for your mind, for your body, for your signature, and for the ens legis, all capital letter name that you just now re-entered back into the system. Now, there are only two officers, and I get this information directly from my source, who is and is he is declared as the Prime Minister of the United States of North America. And he states that there are two officers, President of the United States and the United States Incorporated, which just officially dissolved via Chapter 7 bankruptcy on the 3rd day of November 2020. Biden and Harris, okay, actually ran for a defunct office that went bankrupt on November 3rd, 2020. The second office, he says, is President of the United States and the USA Incorporated, which is currently in Chapter 11. So the entire election was a contest for the, quote, presidency of a corporation that is in bankruptcy and in reorganization. However, neither of these entities are the government of the United States of North America in the family of nations. No corporation is sovereign. They all have to be chartered or granted or commissioned into existence by a sovereign entity, and by definition, they are not sovereign themselves. We are that entity. They have no sovereign immunity. They are nothing greater than Wendy's, GM, or Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola Incorporated. They are our USNA, or United States of North America, subcontractors, our subcontractors. That's what all the constitutions are about: structuring, defining, and limiting the duties of subcontractors that are supposed to be providing our autochthonous USNA nation states and the autochthon people with certain enumerated services. There are originally 3 such business enterprises engaged as federal subcontractors. One is American, one is British, and one is the Royal or Holy Roman, I call them royal because they think they're kings, the Holy Roman Empire interest. Now, finally, I'll break it down. An American subcontractor, or the American subcontractor, that's us, has been paralyzed and inoperable since the Civil War. And the other 2 subcontractors have usurped upon its roles and duties for their own benefit, instead of alerting the people of this country to the situation and assisting us, as they are contractually and morally obligated to do, to finish the so-called reconstruction that was supposedly started after the Uncivil War. These other 2 federal subcontractors, that is the Brits and the Papists, reorganized following the Civil War and began operating as commercial corporations in the business of providing governmental services. They've been in that status ever since. So technically, the President of the United States is the CEO of the Papist or Pope's Municipal Corporation, which is in the 10-mile District of Columbia. And the President of the United States of America is the CEO of the British Territorial Corporation, whereas we, the autochthonous peoples of the USNA, are operating on a whole other frequency and level as their employers. But you cannot understand that you are not empowered once you make a commitment to them. And here it is. The fact is, the defunct US Incorporated has just reincorporated and re-registered as USA Inc. as an LLC, or limited liability corporation, in Great Britain. And those who voted in this 2020 election have now unknowingly signed themselves over once again as voluntary chattel property to this corporation. In essence, they've picked up the options on their adhesion contracts by saying that they submit to the dictates of the selected CEO of the corporation for which their straw man voted, and will assume all debts and liabilities applicable to their all caps ens legis when demanded by the corporation and their selected CEO.